It's about to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics plus. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bum 20 on the MIC. Jet I Night all the way in Germany. Leveled head, you know who that boy is. But I say, live and level, live and level. We on the MIC. Live and level, live and level. We just talking them games. Live and level, live and level. Take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level, live and level. What's up, what's up, what's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead, and we are back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. We are in the building, doing it up once again. And I got my boys with me. Mr. Keith is in the building. I gotta get my volumes right. And I got K-Bum in the building also. You know, he can get one of these. Slap yourself. Oh, yeah. What's up?
Okay.
What's up, folks?
What's up?
Oh, man. Nothing much. Welcome. So, we're here to do our Thursday night podcast. We don't have much, but there was some breaking news, I guess, earlier before we jumped on that someone major in Nintendo is about to step down and go off into, you know, the sunset and end his leading and stewardship as the COO of Nintendo of America, none other than Reggie Fils-Aime. So we shall talk about that. We also going to talk about Sony skipping E3 and the reason why they said they were doing it. That they feel like it's, you know, time to basically let E3 go. And we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to get on our main topic, the MCU. The most important, most influential movies within the MCU. Now, how this works is we're not talking about our favorite movies and most exciting movies. We're talking about the most influential, the most important, meaning if we did not have these movies, the MCU would be the DC EU.
Foolish, man.
That's messed up.
If we didn't have these movies, we have some trash comic book to movie adaptations.
Come on, man.
Trash if we didn't have these movies. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into all that, anything new that we want to hit on before we get anything popping? Man, what's up with this dude that lied about the whole being attacked? Yeah.
Man.
What's going on, man?
I don't understand. Like, one, he's gay. Two, he's black. Like, bro, you setting everybody back. You setting everybody back. Like, you got the whole LGBTQ and letters and all that other stuff community, and then you got us. Like, come on, man, don't be lying about stuff. Like, people can actually get hurt from behind this. You know, there was a lot of celebrities that came out in support and ready to go to war for this dude. And if he, you know, since he lied,
so it's been proven that he was lying.
He get in jail, I believe.
Bro, you didn't see the video? They got the video of the dudes buying the stuff at the store, man.
Yeah,
I heard about it. I haven't actually seen it though.
I saw the video. They were buying the stuff they were used to get them. They were at the store buying the stuff, bro. It's embarrassing, man.
Wow. Welcome to the show, The Truth. Welcome to our show. I see you in the chat. No, I've heard about it, but I thought they were still investigating whether it was a hoax or a prank or whatever it was. I didn't know they actually approved it. So yeah, that's shocking to me.
it's ridiculous.
Okay, wait, I gotta go up here. I'm on daddy duties too, and I hear yelling and hollering. So y'all take over for a second. I'll be right back.
All right. K-Bond 20.
Yeah, bro.
Man, you want to start off with what we've been gaming on?
Oh yeah, I no problem talking about what I've been gaming on, man.
Oh Lord.
What's that
Is it
for?
is it the Switch? You've been gaming on the Switch?
The who?
The Switch.
The who?
Okay.
No, for real. So no, I've been gaming on so most of my time has actually been gaming on the Apex Legends, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that game, man. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it. I just placed in the top two again. I was the last team. My team would have paid attention and not been messing around. We could have took the top spot. But and then I was top two twice last night. Well, top three twice last night. And getting better, man. Getting better. So no, I've been gaming on the Apex Legends. It's to me, I like it better than Fortnite. I never liked the actual the building aspect of Fortnite.
Uh-huh.
I never liked that, man. And I was never quick enough or good enough to do that building stuff. So I like Apex Legends a little bit better because it's just straight. Hey, you got a gun, I got a gun. Let's do this. And
Gotcha.
so, and it is more team based, so it's a little bit more strategy you can build into the game when doing the Apex Legends. So, like last night, we lost because the team pulled some ninja stuff on us because we thought we were cool because we had the high ground,
Uh-huh.
and they did some ninja type stuff on us, and they took the high ground from us and killed us. It was like we had to do nothing but get the dude's props. It was smooth, man. We wish we would have thought of it. But yeah, I like it though.
Okay.
I like it.
Ice back. Ice back.
Oh, come in loud, interrupting the conversation, man. We doing good without you.
Slap yourself. Stupid. All right, go ahead. What was y'all talking about?
No, talking about what I've been gaming on, bro.
Okay.
No, we're talking about Apex Legends. I've been gaming on that a good amount actually. Been gaming on 2K. I got a squad, so we've been playing on that. And I guess my other time has been spent playing. I don't know if everybody know, but playing Magic the Gathering on the computer, the Magic Arena. I've been gaming on that pretty much every day on my PC. So that's pretty legit. I enjoy doing that. So that's what I've been on. Yeah, that's what I've been on.
Okay. Keith, did you already go?
Nope, I have not went. I missed my PC. I gotta put some more money into it, but I'm not ready to put no more money into it. So I finally beat Guacamelee. Those later stages, man, they really test your ability as a gamer. For all those new gamers out there, play some Guacamelee, some timing based jumps, some platforming. It's a whole new ball game out here, people. You can put the guns down, ain't nobody shooting in a circle. But no, I finally beat that. And right now, I'm literally playing Starlink. Like now that I can actually focus on it because I don't have like multiple games trying to like take up my mind. I figured something out. That's how I game. I game one game at a time. I can't game with all these games. I'm gonna go play this, play this, play this. No, I'll game one game at a time. But Starlink, you asked me earlier when we was offline, was it good or whatever? I think it's getting a lot better for me. I haven't got like into the repetitive things that I heard people say they got into, but for me right now, the game is really fun. It's like a flying platforming. It's got all those elements in there. Right now, of course, I'm playing as Fox, but I told K-Bum before we got on, I was like, man, I kind of want to play it on the PlayStation 4, just because I want a more consistent frame rate. No shots.
Also, it does have bad frame rate.
Oh, it stutters. It stutters, okay. But no shots at the Switch, but it could be better.
Just being honest, there ain't nothing wrong with being honest. If it ain't stable, it ain't stable. That's how I feel about it. But do you feel like the game would be as good without the Fox element?
Yeah. I think what they built as a foundation is pretty good regardless.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't miss out by buying a
Nah.
PlayStation or Xbox. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
Now, man, how much was that Grokka Melee?
I think I bought it for like maybe 15.
And it's on the Switch or is this on the PlayStation?
It's on Switch and PlayStation.
But you got it on the PlayStation.
No, on the Switch.
Okay. How is it? Like, is it?
If you like side scrolling, it's like a beat 'em up side scrolling Metroidvania.
My wife is down here talking. She know I'm on the thing. Oh my Lord! I'm gonna mute myself.
I heard that. She said you had the nerve.
It's called congratulations. You played yourself.
Level head down.
You had the nerve to do this podcast. You got baby duty.
Level head down.
Level head down.
Oh, hey, she over here. She think it's funny too because she hear you laughing at me, K-Bum. Like, who is that? I was like, you know who it is. You want to embarrass me live on air. What's up, Cornelius? Welcome to the show. I'm just getting verbally thrashed and lacerated by my better half.
Yeah. Say some more flattering words, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Slap yourself.
Yes.
She was saying I got the nerve to be on the podcast and I got all this stuff, these boxes out that I got this.
Unmitigated gall.
K-Bum, you ain't right, man.
I know I ain't right. I know, man. I know. I'm sorry, bro.
But anyway, so let's move on. Yeah, the truth. I was getting chewed out by my love of my life. That ain't Christ, you know, the other love. So anyway, as for me, I haven't gamed any this week, so there's no point in me adding to anything. But Keith, you said the Grokka you said it's a good game, right?
Oh yeah, it's really good. It's really gonna test your patience. That's all I can say.
Because I've been looking at it ever since you said you had it. I've been interested in.
I think you should play it.
So now my village is showing up again. So y'all go ahead and talk till I get everything situated. All right, I'm muting myself. Go ahead. It's y'all podcast tonight.
Yeah, bro. For those out there in YouTube Nation, YouTube world, this is what real life looks like and sound like.
Man,
this is what it is when you got a village. You got about, I don't know. Well, I'm a kid level, got 13 kids, something like that. You got
a team, got a squad.
You got a basketball team. That's what happens. You got a basketball team. You got to takes a little extra work to keep.
K-Bum, I hear you, man. I hear everything you saying, dude. I hear that, man. I'm offended because
I'm just it's all good. It's all good, man.
I ain't gonna be sitting up and let you say I got a basketball team, bro. I ain't going, man. Anyway, so I'm back. So yes, that was my wife and my daughter. One of my daughters down here. They taking over my little room. I bought a new toy and I had to put it together. And I got all the boxes. There's a lot of stuff that I had to put together, and I got all the boxes out and I ain't wrapped them back up and put them in storage. So she was chewing me out like, how you gonna be on the podcast with all this box and paper and cardboard everywhere and the kids upstairs and you down here? I'm like, well, you know, hey, I have my son up there. He watching them supposedly. But perfect timing. So anyway, so I haven't gamed on anything, and because I've been, like I said, been working down here, and I had to pack up what I had and ship it back because they were shipping me the new kit that I got. The old one I didn't like, the other one I didn't like, so it's a virtual drum set. So I had to, electric drum set. I had to pack it up, so I didn't have a chance to play no game. So that's been my week. So let's get it in. So let's talk about this Reggie situation first, since that's the most current news. So Reggie Fils-Aime is stepping down as the COO of Nintendo of North America. And he's being replaced by, I know his last name is Cooper. What's his first name?
You mean Bowser?
Bowser. Yes, Bowser. What's his first name?
Doug, ain't it? Doug.
Yeah,
Bowser?
yeah.
Okay, Doug Bowser. So I'm gonna start with. I guess I'm gonna start with. What's up, D2K? Welcome to the show.
What's up?
So I'm gonna start with K-Bum. You know, since he's an avid Nintendo gamer. Hey, wait a minute. Hold up.
This is the wrong show.
We do got this.
But we got smashed, bro.
That's you. That's you, K-Bum.
that's you.
So we're gonna start with the biggest Nintendo fan down here, K-Bum 20.
For sure.
So what are your thoughts about this? What are you thinking at the moment about this major announcement of Reggie Fils-Aime stepping down as COO?
I guess I'll be completely clear, transparent. What I'm thinking is, who forced you out? That's how I feel, because I don't know if Reggie was really ready to go. From what I've seen, Reggie, like I said, this is just my.
But his body was ready.
But his body was ready.
Yeah.
So that was my viewpoint. My first thought is, well, who forced you out? It doesn't look like you. Because normally and stuff like that, you kind of have to be either you getting up there in age, or you start sounding a little delusional, and people start moving things and start moving you out. But to me, it was like, boom, Reggie's out. Like, whoa, hey, hello, what happened? And so my thing is, I don't know if he was ready to go, but I think they were ready for him to go. And so to bring in some new talent, but I don't know. That's my first thought is who kind of move you out. Is if it's your decision, then hey, more power to you. I'm all behind you. Do your thing. But that's my initial first transparent thought. It's kind of like who's moving you out. What's the mindset behind it? But that's my first thought.
Okay. I'm gonna say D2K. Keith, what was your dog?
He like the trump card. I'm gonna say this one though. My thoughts. I was kind of like what K-Bum was saying. Who forced you out? But at the same time, I was really shocked. I was like, I can't believe that he's leaving. But at the same time, I was like, what did he do? Like, what are we going to miss? Like, Reggie's gone. Nintendo's not going to fall apart. Nothing is going to change. Or things could get better. I don't know. But so that was my initial thought, was like, I don't really know what Reggie did in the first place. He was always, the PR guy. He came and spoke clear English that you can understand, but he was very robotic. And when I watched that Twitter post that D2K put in the thing, and then I reposted, I didn't realize that he had posted it. I was like, man, I would expect, come on, at least be like a human. He was still a robot. So, and then he used the catchphrase, "My body is ready" or something like that. I was like, that's kind of funny. But yeah, that was my initial thoughts.
Okay, now did I send a shout out to Cornelius in the live chat? Did I send him a shout out? Well, if I didn't, Cornelius, welcome to the show, bro. D2K, what was your thoughts at this breaking news that Reggie is stepping down as COO of Nintendo of America?
Well, first of all, you have to excuse me because I'm actually under the weather right now. So
okay,
I might be some coughing and sneezing and going on.
He's sad.
No,
that's what he's doing, Keith. He covering up for his emotions. Don't do us like that, D2K.
No.
If you emotional, let it out, bro. We all man.
Yeah, that's funny. That's real cute. Well, I was initially kind of shocked because it kind of came out of nowhere. There really was no build up to this. There wasn't like little inklings being dropped here and there that this could happen. At least nothing that was public anyway. There might have been stuff going on behind the scenes that I wasn't really interested in investigating that could have been saying the riot could have been on the wall that he was on his way out. It did seem kind of strange to me that he has not been as visible with Nintendo for the past couple years, really. I mean, you see him every once in a while, see him in the main Nintendo Directs at E3 or stuff like that, but it's been real quiet as opposed to, years past. And, maybe it was just his way of kind of winding things down because he knew that he was on the way out and getting himself to a position where he can just walk off gracefully instead of leaving Nintendo holding the bag without somebody else to take over that spot. Because, it didn't seem like he did anything, but when you're the COO of a company, you're a president of a company, you have a lot of responsibility. There's a lot of people that you are responsible for. There's a lot of things that has to be done in Nintendo that we don't see. And he was responsible for all that. So he's only 57 years old, and that's kind of young to retire. So you would think that, he made a point to mention that his health is fine in the direct. That was the first thing that came to my mind. Is there something wrong with him? He's ill, but he said his health is fine. So, it does kind of seem like somebody said, well, we're going to go in another direction. So we're going to give you an early retirement. And I'm not crying for him because that guy's got more money. He's got money to burn. So, he can go back to Pizza Hut and bring Rick New Yorker back or whatever he wants to do. I hope so.
That's true.
Pizza was good, though.
D2K, right, man.
The pizza was good, though, wasn't it? the Bigfoot pizza. But anyway, I found it kind of funny that the guy they have replace him's name is Bowser. This always seems like an April Fool's joke. Like they just got it in a little bit too early. I'm like, really? That's the president of Nintendo's name is Bowser? Really? How does that happen?
little spot on the nose, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm like, that is just too coincidental. Just things work out that way, I guess. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Okay. Well, y'all kind of alerted me to what was going on with the post and the hangout, and I didn't know what was. I just kept hearing my phone beeping, so I finally opened it up, and it's like Keith was like, "Reggie leaving? What?" I was like, oh, okay. So I went and watched a few videos. I didn't actually see Reggie's post, but I saw folks kind of relate a post of what he said in it. Basically, he's stepping down to spend more time with family, wife, kids, friends. And what I see is, and I think we've been seeing it, because it ain't no coincidence that Miyamoto just came out and was like, let's look at the pattern. Miyamoto is like, I'm handing over the keys to the young folks. It's not because I can't make a game, and he really didn't go into no explanation of why he said that, why he handed the keys over. He said he could still make good games, but he handed the keys over. And then here we have Reggie saying, I'm not sick, but I'm stepping down. And what I see is Nintendo is removing the faces that represent what Nintendo was. And they're moving into the new era with the success of the Switch on the back of new faces, new developers, new creators, and they establishing these guys and individuals to be the new era, the new fresh start for Nintendo on the back of the Switch. So that's not Reggie. That's not Miyamoto. Iwata, untimely death, I think, and I'm saying this in respect, was the thing that kind of triggered all this to start taking place.
The catalyst.
The catalyst and the Wii U failure, Iwata's passing, the Switch coming up under a new president, under a new face. That president hands the keys over to another guy. We got all these young developers. You got Anuma, who's doing great things with Zelda, so you don't really need Miyamoto. And remember they said he would go back and change things when Miyamoto would come in and change stuff. He had to go back and switch it back. To me, it's a changing of the guard, it's a changing, and it's a refreshing. They're cleaning out the stench of what was. And I'm using the words not to throw or cast any shame or ill towards Miyamoto or Reggie. I like Reggie Fils-Aime. Yeah, he lied. D2K let us know he lies. Yes, he has gotten very robotic, very he ain't like he was when he first entered. He seemed to just I'm just here to be a face that you can recognize what I'm saying. I ain't really connected to what I'm saying, but I know y'all know me, y'all trust me, so I'm here for that comfort, that trust. But I think now that with the Switch being as successful as it is, they need to establish these new faces, new ideas under this success that the Switch is, and they getting these guys out of there. I don't think Reggie was necessarily booted out, but strongly encouraged that now is the time. So I'm kind of with I think I'm with D2K. I think it was either D2K or Keith who said it, but I think he was strongly encouraged that maybe it's time to let somebody else take over. And like D2K said, he got money, so he definitely not hurting. So that's my take on it. I think they want new faces and to go into the future. Go ahead.
I think it should, but should be noted that the Switch was Iwata's baby, so he deserves credit for that, posthumously, obviously. But that was his baby. That was his last big project, big idea. So all the success that the Switch has had, you can attribute to Iwata.
So I got a question. So I like what Level said that maybe they're not cleaning house, but getting some of the old mind frames out of there. What do y'all want to see? Like, if that's true, what do you want to see with Nintendo?
Well, check this out. Look at the relationships that seem to be. Look at the situation that's going on with Microsoft, right?
True.
Is this would you credit this to Reggie? I don't. I think this is somebody new. Look at the dude that's taking over. He used to work for EA. So, like, I think they trying to get. I think they aim is a lot of these. Even though we saw success and failure with Reggie and Miyamoto and Iwata,
right?
These relationships from the past, the bad relationships is under this stewardship. So Reggie might not have the rapport with these developers and all this because of maybe the past and maybe stuff that was said in the past. That now that we're in this new space, they trying to bring new people up that can create new relationships, new rapport, so to speak. Like, I didn't even, when I found out that the Bowser guy used to work for EA, that made sense to me. Like, you got a former employee of EA, now he's the head of Nintendo. So that means you probably got an inside connect with him with EA reps.
That's what happened Reggie with when the guy Peter Moore, when he went to Microsoft,
right?
And EA and Microsoft started to get all the stuff from EA because of that relationship. That's what whole Mass Effect and all that was around that same time, because Mass Effect was was a Microsoft thing.
Well, that could be a double-edged sword when it comes to EA.
Yeah, I'm just using EA as an example. I wasn't focusing on EA as I'm just saying with Reggie Miyamoto and God bless Iwata and his passing, and a lot of that regimen of individuals that camp, you saw some of the most sparse, bad relationships with other companies, third-party relationships was under these dudes' reign. And as the Switch goes into the future, you're seeing a lot of new faces, and you're starting to see a lot of new relationships and a lot of new collaborations and a lot of do we think Ubisoft was through Reggie, or who? I'm pretty sure that was a different person who caused that to happen. Like, I ain't trying to knock these guys. I think Reggie, but I think it. You look at Sony, you look at Microsoft. We've seen at least 3 different transitions over the course of those companies, and we just now seeing Reggie leave. We've been seeing Reggie since 2004. We've been, Miyamoto. They've been there for a long time, man. It's time. Not no salt, no hate. I think they did a great job. I think Reggie was needed, but I think he ain't needed for right now. You need a new face. You need a new voice. At some point, you got to get rid of the coach. Even Belichick gonna have to leave at some point. See what I'm saying? So I think they need a new voice, a new face for the franchise. And I think that wasn't Reggie. And I guess they feel like this guy is who it is. And just like the other dude that did the direct, these are all new faces, man. Everybody knew. Everybody knew up in Nintendo right now.
You kind of said something that resonated. You brought up a good point about how a lot of the bad blood that might have existed between Nintendo and some of the other companies, because of things that Reggie might have said. Reggie used to throw a lot of shade at other studios on stage. I mean, this dude was the troll master. This the dude that basically came to the stage in E3 2010 and destroyed the entire 3D program for Sony, which is one comment. So this dude there's a lot of bad blood attached to his name from these other studios. And for a while, the gaming industry has kind of been like every company's been like a castle with a moat surrounding them with alligators and all kinds of things in the moat. Now, I think a lot of these companies are lowering the drawbridge down because that philosophy is not going to be sustainable anymore. And you're seeing more partnerships behind the scenes between these companies, and it's only going to grow. We were talking about this last time or a couple of weeks ago, but I think that in order for that to really happen, you have to kind of move these old heads out of the way and let newer, younger, and more ambitious, talented people who are more open-minded be in decision-making positions in order for that transition to go smoothly. So you can have people say, okay, yeah, let's port this game over to the Switch, or let's put this game on the Xbox One, let's put this game on PlayStation 5 or whatever. Stuff like that is going to happen more and more. And I think that the reason why you're seeing Miyamoto stepping back and Reggie being pushed away and new people on the Nintendo Direct, because that's the direction they're going.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Reggie, he trained the dude that he said he'd been under Reggie's stewardship for 4 years, basically being taught the ropes. So it ain't like this was in the making. This was already planned, and I guess they feel like he ready. So but go ahead. Anybody that want to add to this, and we can move on to the Sony real quick before we get to our main topic.
I guess his body is ready. I just wanted to say that.
Still ready.
So we found out a few months back that Sony was not going to be participating, I guess, at all during the E3, gaming extravaganza that is E3. They are skipping totally out, but they gave no explanation of why. They just said they wasn't going to be there. Well, about 2.5 weeks ago, they, I guess, in an interview, explained why they were basically skipping E3. And what they basically said, to kind of paraphrase what they said, that they basically said E3 is a old format that does not really make sense to continue. We can go directly to our fans. The way that they do it is not really beneficial for the way the industry works and how things is, how information is distributed. So they was like, there's no point of us spending all this money to continue to support something that is not sufficient, that is not effective, and basically just a waste of money. So they are going other avenues, like instead of going through the IGNs and going through these different mediums, they going straight to the fan, straight to Sony fan base, and they don't need a middleman to explain what they're trying to do, because they can explain what they're doing to their fans themselves at their own show with their money going to something that's strictly for them. Like what's the two things they do, K-Bomb? You know them. The one they do, Sony.
Sony Experience.
The Experience, and then what's the one they do in like when they announced the
PSX, something like that.
Yeah. So they's like we have those type of venues and events that we can engage our fan base. We can roll out our new product, our games, our partnerships, and we cut out the middleman and go straight to our fans, and our message is intact and not filtered through opinions, through biases. It's a pure, unadulterated, this is our message, and it goes straight to their fans. Kind of the same thing Nintendo was saying with their Direct. So and Microsoft, I think, also was saying the same thing. So is this a trend that's going to start to become common amongst other companies? Do you think E3 is going to be okay after a statement like what Microsoft made? I thought that.
Well, we've already seen. Sorry.
Go ahead. Go. I was throwing it at you. Go ahead.
No, we've already seen some companies already take that a very similar stance. I mean, that was the whole EA thing. We can give the information to our customers in a better format than E3, and that's why they moved out and have the EA Play in their own little building that they have their own little event, invite their own people, have their own games, and during the same time as E3, but they kind of do it themselves and don't really need to put anything over in the show and pop up in Microsoft and then go back to their little. So I mean, and give credit where credit's due, and I continue to give this man the credit. This is everything Sony said is pretty much what John Shaw said.
Yeah. Let me send these shots out. Lurking Ghoul, welcome to the show. Oh, Heart and Soul 72, welcome to the show as well. See y'all down in the last chat. But yeah, John Shaw did say everything that
pretty much everything that Sony says. John Shaw said it.
Shaw said this about 2-3 years ago. So
yep.
Was Shaw Nostrosauruses? I don't know how to say it.
It's called congratulations.
I failed on that one, but go ahead.
good try. So no, man,
I tried.
I mean, I'm not defending. I'm not trying to defend Sony, but they're not the first people to make this decision. I mean, out of the big three, they're the first person to kind of go. I mean, I don't know if that even that's safe, because Nintendo started to move away from that and delivering information they wanted to deliver the way they wanted to do it, instead of being the same way the other two were doing. So I think this is just a maturation of what was already occurring, man. They're just taking their foot, putting their foot down and say this is what we're going to do, which makes sense because you're starting to see this trend, and you have been seeing it for a while with other companies.
Right. Yeah. Keith.
All right. So I don't really think this is going to affect or make what's the show? What's the one we like?
E3.
I don't think it's going to take E3.
What the show we like?
The name of it already.
What that show we like? You forgot about
I'm already lying.
Hold up.
It's called congratulations.
You ain't getting away with that, Keith.
He already forgot. No, I don't think. I think E3 is going to have to evolve. Really, I think third parties are going to take advantage of something like an E3. You're going to see like more first party things at these other, like the PlayStation, whatever they're going to call. What are they going to call it? Did they ever say?
The Experience, and then are you talking about the 5?
The whatever they said they was going to, how they was going to, because I know they said they wanted to do it before June or something like that. They felt like it was too late. Like it's too late.
Yeah, they said all the transactions and business things is done in February. It's done way earlier than when it was. By the time E3 show up, all the stuff that E3 was for is already been done.
Right.
So what's the point of showing up at E3 to do what we already did earlier in the year.
Right. So that's
yeah.
what I said. That's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna really come with their heavy hitters, their first party, and if they have third party like exclusive games, I think you'll see those earlier. But I think this is an opportunity for indie games to have a bigger spotlight. Third parties to have a bigger spotlight. If all of the main companies are doing their own thing, and I heard Level how he was trying to explain it. He just danced around by not trying to say direct. He was like, they want to give it, to the fans, I don't want to say it.
Cats be thinking you trying to always throw Nintendo into something, so I'll try to keep from doing it.
But yeah, that's all I got on that though.
Okay, D2 Kurt, what's your point, by?
I need a shovel because there's a lot of BS that you were throwing at me with what Sony was saying.
Who, me?
I mean, not you, but what the statement that was from them.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of truth of what they were saying, but there was a lot of media spin in that too. Basically, they're saying, I'll just go around and say it. You all know my feelings about Nintendo, but I'll just come out and say it. They want to copy off Nintendo with Nintendo's success in Nintendo Direct. Period. They see that Nintendo didn't have to be on stage anymore. It's working well for them. They say, well, why can't we do that? So that's what they're going to try to do. And,
wait. Hold on. You say Sony's trying to copy Nintendo?
I never heard of that before.
I mean, if you think about, that whole lengthy dissertation that they gave was basically saying, we want our Direct. That's what I took out of from that whole situation.
Sony never copies Nintendo, man. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Hold up. Lurking Ghoul said Levelhead is shook, still won't give me his friend code so I can put these beats on him in Dragon Ball Z Fighter Smash. Lurking Ghoul, okay, I didn't know you wanted my friend code, but since you challenge a brother like that, slap yourself. You shall get my friend code. I didn't know you want these hands. You want these hands? Anyway, no, I'm messing with you, bro. I see you over there. They're talking noise in the comment section. Level don't want these hands. I want them now. I want all the business, all the noise.
You want all that smoke.
All the smoke. That's the new one. Anyway, go ahead. I ain't mean to interrupt you, D2K. I just had to mess alert.
So as I was saying, Sony's copying Nintendo. And on purpose. And there's nothing wrong with that because everybody copies each other. That's one thing I've said so many times. Is people love to jump up and say, "Oh, look at Sony's copying Nintendo here. Nintendo's copying Sony, or Microsoft copying Sony, or whatever." Companies copy each other. There's been that way since the beginning of commerce in the world. It's just the way that things are. See, people see a good idea here. They do the same thing somewhere else. They change it a little bit. That's why we have McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and Jack in the Box and Culver's and all these different burger joints. Hardee's, Arby's. That's roast beef. Well, it's supposed to be beef, but we don't know what it actually is.
Corned beef.
It's not even that. It was some kind of gel. But anyway,
he's on one.
The point is that that's all this rigmarole about. We want to be able to connect with our fans, and E3 is holding us back. No, your lame show that you had last year was holding you back. The content that you put in your show and the agenda that you tried to push during your show is what's holding you back. That's what's held you back. That's the reason why people are saying, you know what? I don't really need a Sony show because the games were fine, but everything around it made it seem like, ugh. I didn't even want to watch. I had to stop watching it because I just felt dirty watching their show. That's how bad it started off weird. There was blasphemy in there. There was all kinds of stuff that just didn't feel comfortable for me at all. So you know what? I'm click. That's just show because everybody said the games were tight. Nobody had a problem with the games they showed their show last year. None of them. Every game they showed was like, I want to play this, I want to play that, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. So they can't do it right anymore. So they're going to say it's not good anymore. It's a dead format. Get out of here with that crap. You guys just can't pull it in like you used to, where you don't want to put the work in to make your shows interesting like you did a couple years ago. when you start off with that orchestra playing,
Legit.
and it flowed right into gameplay of God of War 4. That was gold. Beautiful. Brilliant. That was their last gasp.
I definitely feel like they do want they Nintendo Direct. I think that's what's influencing Sony, not just Nintendo, but EA stepping out and doing their own thing. I don't think they do it exactly like Nintendo, but it's definitely got Nintendo influence all on it. Nintendo is, as much as we throw shade and salt at some of the stupid stuff Nintendo do, online services. In this situation, they made a smart, proactive, kind of
forward thinking,
prophetic move. Because I remember when they made the move, I can name all the names of the people who thought it was the stupidest, most out of touch thing they could do. And 8 years later, even through the Wii U, could you imagine had Nintendo stuck with the traditional E3 format with the Wii U failing like it was? That would have been I think the Directs kind of helped offset just how bad the Wii U was doing, because they wasn't on the stage and then trying to fill up an hour and a half time with nothing. So I think the writing has been on the wall ever since when Nintendo found success. Other companies like, look, we don't have to do it exactly like they doing it, but they doing it right. What they did is right, and we need to follow suit, because we wasting a lot of money on this stage, sharing it with a whole bunch of other companies, and gonna be forgot about, or at least compared to everybody else, and not really have the effect that we would if we were just out here on our own doing our own thing. So yeah, you're right, D2K. I give you that. Hey y'all, we should put our Nintendo Switch codes in the live chat before we can kind of get some of these cats in our friend list.
I will say everything.
Huh?
I will say everything. Friend code, PlayStation Network, anything we have.
We need to start doing that. I don't know my friend code by heart. I wish Nintendo would have left it like the Wii U, where you could just put my name in and leveled head and you'll find me. But of course, it's Nintendo. So again, they make some things wise, like stepping away from the traditional stage at E3, but then they do stupid stuff like, hey, we had a working system with the Wii U where you just put your name in, but now we want to give you these long codes because we, for whatever reason, just want to step backwards. It just makes us feel comfortable.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Well, 1 step forward, 4 steps back, because that's what friend codes is. That's like
I was being trying to be generous there. But okay.
No, not on this show, D2K. Give them all the business that you want to give them. So let's move on and get to our main topic.
Yeah.
This has been held off for far too long. We were supposed to have been doing a podcast dedicated to this, I think 3 podcasts ago, but we're here to do it tonight. So we ain't going to be talking about games no more. We're going to be talking about comic books. And if you're a fan of games, you are a fan of comic books as well, I think. And I think you will enjoy what we're about to talk about. And what we're about to talk about, thinking of Captain Marvel coming out here in a few weeks, what has been the most important MCU movies, not your favorite movie, not the most exciting movie, but the most important movies that has helped shape what the MCU currently is. The rules are they have to have played a pivotal part in shaping the identity of the MCU. I don't care if it's a great movie. If it didn't do anything for the shaping of the MCU, it cannot be considered.
Now let me help her. Now are we talking about? Let me let me help her. So are we talking about the
It's called
How-
congratulations. You played yourself.
Man, let me get it out, man.
I
Let me get
had
it
to
out.
give. I had to give that,
I
man.
can't stop laughing at that goat.
Hold up, man.
It's called congratulations.
I had to
You
give him
played
that,
yourself.
K-Bum. You let Google being too fun. All right, go ahead. What you saying,
All
man?
right. Are we talking about how these movies are represented inside of the universe of the MCU, or its impact as it is in the real world outside, and that impact as far as people's perceptions of Marvel movies?
Okay.
'Cause those are two different things.
Okay. I'm trying to explain. Okay, say it
So,
again and
all
then
right,
give understanding.
So I'll use one. I'll use two movies as two examples. Iron Man, it has a greater impact of what it did to the Marvel universe. Black Panther has a great impact of the perception people see as far as the movie itself. Has
Okay, I
real
got you.
life.
I got you.
Okay, real life. What is done in real life? People view that movie that has a greater impact than what it did in the actual universe of. So I'm just saying, which one are we talking about? Are we talking about both, or just as it pertains inside of the universe of Marvel itself?
As it pertains, well,
Is it both?
I think it got to be. I think somewhat both.
Cool.
But more so, more so the former,
yes,
being the latter. But
gotcha.
I don't think we can
exclude it.
Not to say that Black Panther is one of those movies.
Yeah.
But in thinking of Black Panther, we cannot exclude the fact that it was, and it did do a lot to,
right.
And then for what it was standing alone. But then even for the MCU, I think we haven't even fully felt the effect of what Black Panther has done for the MCU. So
yeah,
just like Wonder Woman done for women.
Right,
but that definitely is a different conversation, though.
Right,
so
that's what I'm trying to get at.
So in thinking about it, let's just stick to what made the MCU great.
Cool,
not standalone greatness. Everything has to be to the shaping of the MCU, being as dominant as it is.
But
so
that changes one of my answers. There,
okay. So I'm trying to pull up a list of all.
I have it already.
Oh, you already got it?
Yep.
So we gotta have a cutoff spot. Iron Man.
So we can take it in phases. Then we can talk about them in phases.
I'm talking about the current MCU. I don't want Spider-Man. No. 2 and 1.
No. I'm talking about phase 1, phase 2, phase 3.
Okay, in the current MCU.
Yeah, the current MCU. We can use.
So that'd be starting with Iron Man. That'd be Iron Man.
So the first 6. So the first 6 in phase 1 is Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America: First Avenger, and the Avengers. That's phase 1.
That's phase 1. I'm looking right at
talking about what was influential inside of phase 1. Phase 1, then we move to phase 2, and then phase 3.
And then we do a whole overarching for the whole thing. Okay, so let's start.
No. We're still going to talk about the overarching, the whole thing. I'm just saying we can limit our conversation to those pieces, and to make sure that we address everything.
Okay, cool.
To kind of tailor, or put a boundaries over the conversation.
Yeah, that'll keep us kind of focused.
Yeah.
So phase 1 will be Iron Man through the original Avengers.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about these movies. So we got Iron Man, then we got the Incredible Hulk, then we got Iron Man 2, then we have Thor, then we have Captain America, the first Avenger, then we have the Avengers. So in dealing with this first, how did you say that? First
phase 1.
Phase 1. What in this phase, what movies in this phase you feel like were of extreme importance to the current success of the MCU? I would throw this at. I'm gonna start with D2K first this time. Out of those movies right there, and why? We might be on this for a little bit.
Well, that's real tough. I'll just go with Iron Man because Iron Man set so many different balls in motion that led up to Avengers that I think that was the first domino that knocked down a trail of other dominoes going in many different directions. Without Iron Man, you can't have anything else. And I think that was like a restart from Marvel, because up to that point, the X-Men movies were okay, and the Spider-Man movies made a lot of
X-Men,
money.
But the last bad taste in your mouth, that last X-Men.
Yeah, that last bad taste in your mouth, and the DC movies were just killing it. Or the Batman movies.
Batman was killing it, absolutely.
It was like, did the Watchmen come out before?
Before, I believe.
Before, yeah, that movie did pretty good. But they were doing okay. But I think Iron Man was the most important because it basically cleared the slate, restarted everything. You saw exactly where they were going with that movie. Everything that you need to know about the MCU in Iron Man, you saw that. Everything hit like bam, 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 bam. It was almost like the actual story itself was a side plot because of what was being set up for the MCU going forward. To me, that's the way I felt. So for me, the phase one, the most important movie was the first one.
Okay. All right.
You can have multiples out of this phase.
No. We gonna let the most important.
Cool. We'll talk the most important this phase.
In this phase.
In this phase?
In this phase. So I'm gonna throw this at because K-Bum so itching to go. K-Bum, I'm gonna let Keith go before you. Go ahead, Keith.
Hold on, man. It's Terrence Howard, man. And I think it's pretty easy and obvious, man. I got all this stuff going on.
Oh my God.
That was a good one, man.
Gotta be the one with Terrence Howard in it. I mean, it's Iron Man. And looking at this, I was wrong. I thought The Incredible Hulk came out before Iron Man. My whole life is ruined. But yeah, I would have to agree with D2K. It's Iron Man. It set it up. It's basically the pivotal point of of everything, because Tony Stark is like, he's the guy. So I agree. It got to be Iron Man.
Okay, K-Bum.
So we can only say one.
Well, we're gonna say one in this first phase, but then when we get, so we can pull out other ones that we. But what's the most important in this first phase?
All right, so you got to hear me out now.
You better disagree.
Well, I know. In Avengers, we lead off with that.
No. You got to listen out here. No. Let me talk, bro.
I'm listening, man.
No. The most impactful movie in this phase is the Avengers.
Okay.
It is the Avengers, because you have to understand this. If Avengers flop, if they can't successfully put multiple heroes in a movie and make it work, we don't get any more of this. We don't get Avengers Civil War. We don't get Avengers.
That's a good point, bro. I got a different take, but I like your point. I like
I have a counterpoint to that.
Good. No, but to me, we don't get that. If it doesn't work, if putting all these guys in this movie, if it's clunky, if it's Batman versus Superman, if it's clunky, we don't.
Look, we ain't gonna do them like that right now, man. Leave them alone.
All right, sorry. If it's Justice League, I mean, if it's it just doesn't. It's too easy. Man. I'm sorry. It's too easy. I'm sorry.
It slipped.
It's called congratulations. You played yourself.
Go ahead, man.
I mean, but honestly, we don't even get the anticipation or the want or the oh my God, they're about to put everybody together again and they're gonna fight this bigger foe. I mean, Infinity War is nothing if Avengers doesn't work. I mean, it's nothing. So to me, I mean, I would love to say Iron Man because Iron Man started everything off. But if I have to choose just one, and because to me it has to be Avengers because they made that whole thing work, which had never really worked before, which is connected all these movies together in one movie and threw all these characters in, and it made it spectacular and blew your mind. I'm sorry, that wins.
I kind of disagree.
Let me get mine in, and then we gonna debate it. Then we gonna move to phase 2. So, K-Bo, I love your take. I really do. I'm torn because when we kind of reshaped how we was gonna do this, I was gonna say these 2 movies. These was my 2 movies. Definitely in most important in the MCU. These 2 movies were definitely part of my 5 movies. But I'm gonna use this analogy. I was a track runner, and you're only as strong as the first leg. If as much and how as great a point you made with the Avengers, and you make a very incredible point because if the Avengers fail, we don't continue. You're right. But if Iron Man fails, we don't even get to the Avengers. Mm-hmm. And Iron Man set such a tone for, and I'm going to borrow what D2K said, Iron Man showed us it could be done and done right, to where our expectation and the standard that was set with, and the foundation that was set with Iron Man, we expected that with everything else. That's why Captain America First Avenger didn't hold up. That's why we criticized the Hulk. And Iron Man was always that benchmark, that example, that the only movie in that first phase that was able to live up to it was the Avengers. But it was because Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man held it all together. You remove him, you have no Avengers. And like track, if the first leg don't get out right, there's a strong possibility that even as powerful as the anchor is, you probably can lose that race. So, as much as I like Avengers over Iron Man, most important, I got to give it to Iron Man.
I done seen Usain Bolt catch people on that final leg, but I
saw him lose too, because the first leg.
I'm just saying, but go ahead, continue the conversation.
I'm going to have to disagree with my boy K-Bum, the Jello Pudding. Here's why. Here's why. You could honestly sum up the Avengers movie as end credit trailers and move on to the next phase, without ever having an Avengers movie, because those movies were good enough on their own. That's why I'm going to disagree. It was fun to see all those guys in their comic book costumes and all this other stuff, but you could have moved on from it. It's not. I don't think it was pivotal. Like, well, I can't say phase 2 yet, but
I disagree with that, Keith. I disagree with that. I'm gonna say this. I'm right. I'm not agreeing with K-Bum, but it's like literally I'm like right on the step below him, because I want to say Avengers, but I can't say Avengers without looking at what Iron Man did. If it wasn't for Iron Man, do we even get to the Avengers? If Robert Downey Jr. does not sell us on Iron Man, and Marvel does not sell us on the cinematic universe that Iron Man was in, and that whole thing, does Disney continue with this, or does it stop there? Do we end at Captain America and be like, man, this is, because look what we got. We got Iron Man, we got Thor, which was horrible.
So Hulk, Thor.
I like Hulk. But
Thor wasn't terrible, but that's
I didn't even know.
I think that,
but I don't even consider Hulk a part of the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible
Hulk. Part of the MCU.
The Incredible Hulk, which came.
Yeah, well, the Incredible. I don't know why. It's definitely a good movie, but I always said it outside of.
I did too.
I know it
No,
came after Iron
no, because
Man.
Iron Man showed up in that movie at the end of that
You're
movie.
right. You're right. He is in there. So,
Yeah.
but I like Hulk.
And even the military guy is in Civil War.
You're right. Thor was horrible.
Thor, we can disagree.
The first Captain America
was trash.
I think Thor in that movie was trash.
I thought Thor was okay.
It was all right, but to me, all right for the MCU is trash.
I didn't need to see it again.
Yeah, so, like I don't look to see that movie no more.
I watch it. I like it. I watch it all the time.
Okay, so we got Iron Man, Avengers. So now this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take these two movies, and we're gonna, even though we say Iron Man is the most important in this first phase, we still gonna take Iron Man and Avengers when we talk about the overarching. And we gonna relook at this.
That's pretty much goes without saying that they will be in the top 5 of anybody's.
Okay, I'm just saying we're taking them out. They're saying so. Iron Man in this movie is coming out. Okay.
I do want to say One Piece. I do want to say
One
Piece just to counter what it is, and we'll leave it at that. We still got Justice League after all that crappy single DC movie stuff. I just want to put that out there. We still
that kind of
shouldn't have.
Well, that kind of goes to what I was about to counter earlier. Is that I remember watching the episode Arsenio Hall show back in the day when Eddie Murphy was on there. This was just around the time that Harlem Nights was coming out, and he was saying how this was the first time that he produced and directed and wrote the script and acted in the movie all at the same time. And he was saying how the critics put him in a position where he couldn't lose, because if the movie didn't do well, they could say, oh, he took on too much. But if the movie did great, they could say, oh, he's a genius and he's brilliant. So in that same regard, nobody knew that Avengers was going to work.
Nobody, even people did it.
No one knew that was going to work. You had all these big stars, all these personalities, all these characters. Joss Whedon made magic with that movie.
Yeah, he did. Sprinkle pixie dust on that movie.
But if it didn't work, I don't think it would have been the end of the MCU, because it was such an unbelievable task for him to take on. And nobody knew it was going to work out the way that it did. So if it didn't work, they would have said, well, that was a lot to take on. I mean, that was really a tough thing. Nobody's ever done that before. We can give him a pass.
I agree with that.
That's a possibility too. I agree with that, D2.
I slightly disagree, because the anticipation of the rest of the phases to me wouldn't have been as much without the success of Avengers.
That's true too.
But we can
be both right. We can be both right. So let's move on. So the second phase.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the second phase is Iron Man 3.
Oh Lord.
Is it? Okay. Well, I guess after
it's Iron Man.
Iron Man 3, Thor: Dark World, Captain America: Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers: Age of Ultron. It stops right there, right?
No, Ant-Man. Ant-Man.
And Ant-Man. Okay, and it stops right there. So, all right. So
do I go
Iron
first now?
Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America first of no. Iron Man 3, Thor, Dark World, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Guardian of the Galaxy, Original, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man. So since you went the last time, okay, but go ahead, go.
All right. So if we're just
Keith, it's your turn now. What you got to say? Oh, my bad.
Hey, dog. Hey, well, phase 3 gonna be hard. Good Lord. Okay. So if we're just picking one out of this one, mine will have. I know what my. So the question I asked you at first level was for this phase, because I can't choose one of my favorite Marvel movies in the MCU.
Is the most important, yeah.
Because of its impact what it did outside of the Marvel universe, not what it did inside. So this one I have to go with Guardians, because the reason why I say Guardians is the most impactful. Guardians opens up the MCU into the galactic universe. This is what Guardians did. Guardians expanded on the gems. Guardians showed us the Kree. Guardians showed us
Wow.
nowhere. Guardians showed us all these places that we would have never. We would have just been earthbound, if not, except for what Thor did. I mean, but to me, he spent most of his time on Earth anyway. But it was what the Guardians did that opened the rest of this world, rest of the MCU to the whole galactic universe. To me, which expanded it even further than expected. And the fact that it was even so good that it brought a brand new cast of B-line characters that no one knew about, and made a outstanding movie that no one really did care about beforehand, and just killed it. To me, this was impactful to the universe, inside and even outside. Which I have to note, my favorite movie, which I wanted to say was Winter Soldier, but I still think the Vince and Winter Soldier could have happened and not really had that much impact to the Marvel universe. But it's smaller when it compared to the whole entire galactic universe that was opened up to us because of Guardians. So that's mine.
Okay, that's a good. You took an angle with that I wasn't expecting you to take. Now you making me trouble with my pick. But I'm gonna stick with my pick. But you make a good argument. Go ahead, Keith.
Well, he actually took my answer and definitely explained it a lot better than I would have. But yeah, he's absolutely right. That opened up it really opened the whole MCU up. You see Thanos. Well, I think you saw Thanos in an end trailer right before that. But you got a chance.
End of Avengers.
Yeah. But you really got a chance to see him this time. And then, like you said, you open up all these new characters. Even what's my man? Hal the Duck.
Howard the Duck. Yeah, you did. You so right.
But no, my original answer was actually going to be Age of Ultron. But as I was sitting there thinking, I was like, dang, I'm just going to stick with Guardians. But yeah, I definitely 100% agree. I can't even disagree with that.
All right, now y'all got to get, so yours would be, both of y'all's is Guardians, but K-Bum, your second one out of this one be Winter Soldiers, and yours would be Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
Okay, so just remember that, so when we get, that's going to be the ones you extracting out.
No problem.
All right, go ahead, D2. D2K, are you there? You muted if you talk.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Okay. Man, this is another tough one. I'm about to go left on you again. I think that as much as I like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think that's my favorite movie of Phase 2, I did not expect to like that movie as much as I did because it was loaded with a bunch of characters I'd never heard of before. I think I saw Rocky Raccoon. I think it was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That's the first time I heard of him. I was like, who is this raccoon? Why is he important? But he became important later on in the series. But I didn't expect to enjoy that movie as much as I did. But if I had to be honest, I think that the most impactful movie of Phase 2 was Civil War. I think that with Civil War, you basically got to look at
actually Civil War.
Actually, yeah, I thought that's Phase 3.
That's Phase 3. The only you have Age of Ultron. That's the Avengers movie in that phase.
Okay, then scratch that. That'll be my Phase 3 choice. Okay. Maybe it won't. No, maybe it will. Guardians. Yeah. Guardians is definitely, because you got to see Thanos, did open everything up to the rest of the galaxy. The Age of Ultron kind of fell flat for me. I don't know if it did for anybody else. It just didn't have the same oomph as the first Avengers. It kind of felt like I don't know. For a part 2, it didn't work out too well.
It wasn't good, but it did give us vision. So
yeah, it did, but
it did give us vision holding the hammer. That was hard.
Yeah. They kind of made a joke out of that, but it was like, but in Winter Soldier, I really don't understand why people love this movie so much. I mean, people make hot, passionate love to this movie.
If you got 30 minutes afterwards, I'll explain to you.
I don't need you to explain. I saw the movie.
Okay. So
and that's another movie I never need to see again. It was just like, it was good when I saw it, but after that, I can't tell you one thing that I remember about that movie.
I think that movie out, and I don't need 30 minutes. I think that movie outside of the MCU was just a really good movie. I think you could take those characters and it had nothing to do with superheroes and be like, this is just a good movie.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's why I'm going with Winter Soldier as more important for this reason. First of all, Guardians of the Galaxy, as dope as it was, you could have that movie alone and you wouldn't even know if they didn't tell you. You wouldn't. It's everything that you say about this movie, you can also say about Thor. Thor gives you that. Thor character gives you the space and all that. You got that in Thor. So even though I think Guardians of the Galaxy is a much better space movie and space aesthetic and how it's opening up and expanding the world of the MCU, Thor did that already with Asgard and all that and all the other planets and Loki and Thor and Odin and all that. You getting all that through Thor. And the second reason I won't go with Guardians, even though I think it was a better movie than I was expecting, is it didn't really feel like an MCU movie. It didn't feel like that. It felt like something else.
I would agree with that. It was a space pirate movie, and it did have its own feel to it.
It had its own feel.
Didn't mesh quite well with the rest.
Right.
Of
it kind of had its own thing going, and I feel like it's the same thing with Black Panther, but we ain't got there yet. So we can make the same argument with Guardians as we can with Black Panther. The reason I
disagree with that though. Well, go ahead.
I got a piece I want to say before we move, but yeah, go ahead. Finish, please.
The reason I say Winter Soldier is Winter Soldier was the first movie that took on a tone where the stakes felt real, and you felt like whatever took place meant it had weight to it. Like Cap's character developed into Cap, and all these characters started to take on weight in a way that we didn't see through the first phase. It was just a comic book. It was just. But Winter Soldier took on a nature that was a little darker, a little sinister. It felt weighty. It felt like, man, this stuff matters. That's why I say Winter Soldier. It made everything matter. Like, this is serious to me. Like, I'm invested in this. I'm invested in these characters. I'm invested in Scarlet. Is it Scarlet Witch? No, not Scarlet Witch, but
Black Widow.
Black Widow. I'm invested in her. I'm invested in Samuel L. Jackson's character. I'm like, why these names always skip me when I'm in thought? I'm invested in Cap. Like, that's what it did for me. It took it out of being a comic book movie and made it, man, I'm really into this. And as much as I think Galaxy was amazing and where it took us, I think Cap was more important. That's mine. So it'd be Captain America, Winter Soldier, and then Guardians for everything y'all said.
I want to add a point that you didn't add to that. Now that I'm sitting back thinking about all these movies, all this stuff starting to come back. The one thing that's with the Civil War?
Yeah.
Age of Ultron?
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about D2K. Dang it. Yeah, that's phase 3. I can't use that. So, okay. Before you go, Kayvon. Guardians of the Galaxy. You said that it didn't feel like a MCU movie, but I would say that movie set the tone for every movie after it. And the writing got funnier. It got lighter after that movie.
That's if you looking for that though.
If you're looking for it, but it did.
You're right. It did change. It did change some of the tone, but
well, Guardians came out right after that, so it definitely is like, okay, yeah, you had this dark, depressing movie. Now let's go fluffy and colorful and happy. Yay!
Exactly.
Space pirate
Rainbows and
fleet.
butterflies.
Hey!
yeah, I'm with you on that. But yeah, that's my take on phase 2.
So real quick, what I wanted to say. So what I love about Winter Soldier was continue. You actually said it level, but it was actually a plus and not a negative. What happened after what Winter Soldier did to the MCU is that they started to make particular movies instead of just superhero movies. And so what happened was Winter Soldier became Born Identity.
Right.
Yeah. Guardians became the Space Pirates. Ant-Man became a heist movie, and so on. That they were not just superhero movies. They were
Black Panther became Coming to America.
You ain't right.
K2K.
You ain't right, man. But you tell the truth though.
but they became, they became subgenres of just what you expect from a superhero movie. And then the last Thor became a comedy superhero movie. It became subgenres, but it started with Winter Soldier. That's one of the reasons I wanted to choose it. But to me, that was more of an impact of how it showed the world, as in that these movies can be more than just superhero movies. They can be heist. They can be Born Identity. They can be this. You know what I'm saying? To me, that was highly impactful. But just as far as the MCU, I think it's Guardians. So
it ain't that I hate Thor. I just don't feel like they done the movies right, Lurkin. I don't hate them, except for the third one. I actually hate the third one. But 1 and 2 were just not up to standards what they were doing. Like I think they could have did better with Thor.
Which is sad because I really like his character. I like the actor that
I
plays
like
him. I love Thor character, but it just no.
So
it's missing something.
Welcome to the show, Phoenix Star. So
you got one more. You got one more. Just chimed in the chat, bro.
He speaks the truth.
I want more Batman. What's up, the MD20? What's up, man?
Well, who's gonna play Batman? That's the question,
right? I
Will
was thinking
Smith.
about that. We can talk about that in.
All right, okay.
All right. So let's go to phase 3. So right now for K-Bomb is
I can tell you. For me, is Avengers and then Iron Man, and then there's Guardians, and then Winter Soldier.
Okay, Keith is Iron Man, Avengers,
and then the Guardians.
And
I will say Winter Soldier as well.
I thought you said.
I'm sorry. You're right. Age of Ultron. We've been talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Then for D2 is Iron Man, Avengers, and then Guardians. Winter Soldier. No, you didn't say Winter Soldier. What was your?
I'll do Winter Soldier. I didn't like the movie, but I'll put it there.
Okay, cool. So let's go to the third phase, and that is
this phase is tough, boy.
Whew. Okay, so
this is easy,
nobody want Ant-Man?
No.
Nobody want. Okay, so
this is easy.
Captain America: Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity Wars, and I think that's it in phase 2. Or is Ant-Man Wasp? Is Ant-Man Wasp in there?
Ant-Man, bro.
I'm not for sure because I always stop it with Avengers.
4.
Okay, so Ant-Man.
No, it's not. It's phase 3.
It's still phase 3.
So.
We still got 2 more movies to come out.
Yep. Captain Marvel and Avengers 4 are also phase 3.
Because it plays a part in Endgame. So that's why I was right. Okay. So it stops at Infinity Wars. So
no, Ant-Man and Wasp is still 3.
It is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Captain America: Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2, Homecoming, Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity Wars, Wasp. I started with y'all too, so let me start with Keith this time. I
think D2K, right? Because Keith went.
No,
Keith
I
was
thought I
first.
started with D2K1.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, don't mess me up, K. Hold up, man.
No, he didn't.
It's called congratulations. You played yourself.
Go ahead, Keith.
Civil War. Very simple. And the reason is because that's the movie that split everybody up. And that's how, even when you got all the way down to the Infinity War, you got all these people in different places of the world doing different stuff because of that one movie. It separated the Avengers. So that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
The Russo brothers actually said
Nope.
No. Keith. Come on, man. Let me get it out, bro. You gonna let me finish, bro?
Go ahead.
The Russo brothers actually said they wanted to make the Avengers movie more impactful, and one of those devices to do that was to break them up in the Civil War.
Yes.
So I'm actually trying to add to you while you up here. That was actually their reasoning for breaking them up to make the Infinity War more impactful.
So Keith, what's your second movie then?
If I had a second movie, Ragnarok. I think.
He liked it. He liked it.
I ain't knocking. All right.
I think. I don't know. I was really just set on Civil War.
Well, just set on there. Don't let level make you say something you don't want to say.
You gotta have two though. The rule is two.
Give him time to think about it.
I guess you could say Black Panther not for what it did for the culture, but for what it the setting of Infinity War and where they had to fight and how they came back together. And we had already been introduced to Wakanda because Wakanda was really the character of that movie. Wakanda forever, and I'm doing the cross right now. So I think after Black Panther, that being introduced, it kind of brought everybody back together. Even though they came back together in the Infinity War, but I think that kind of brought everybody. Just that introduction of that movie, like they had to find a way to put it in there. So there you go.
Okay. D2K.
Civil War for a lot of the reasons that he explained. You basically got to see the roll call of all the people who are going to be participating for the most part in Infinity War. They were fighting each other, but you got to see everybody in one big group. Everybody, you got to see them do their thing. Got to see Ant-Man do his thing, Spider-Man. The introduction of Spider-Man was huge in Civil War. Huge. Right. You saw them tie up a lot of loose ends because War Machine always, when I remember the comic books War Machine, I always remember that he couldn't walk without the suit. And that is something that they added into Civil War when he fell down and he broke his spine or whatever, and now he can't walk anymore without the suit. So that kind of like threw that in there. A lot of people missed that, but I picked up on it. Like, oh, okay, they finally tied that together. So now it's really like the comics. But it was just so much going on in Civil War, and you saw I don't want to say the climax, but you saw what was boiling under the surface between Captain America and Iron Man, Tony Stark, came to a head in that movie. And that kind of played out a little bit into Infinity War because, now they're kind of, like you said, everybody got dispersed. They all went their own ways. They don't hate each other, but we ain't cool no more. So we'll be together. We'll be together when it was necessary, but we ain't finna kick it and have shawarma burgers no more.
Yeah, you ain't invited to the barbecue. Yeah, you ain't invited to the barbecue no more.
And the second movie, as far as MCU importance, obviously is Infinity War because that's when it all came together, and that's what we were building up to all this time for all these movies was Infinity War. And this was supposed to be just one big movie, but it was so big they had to split it into two movies. So I could say that Infinity War is definitely number 2 for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna go. No, go ahead. Okay, bro.
If you go, you want to, man. You want to go last?
Okay, yeah, let me go. So my most important in this one is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Get yo.
The movie he forgot was in the phase 3.
Right?
I'm gonna say Infinity Wars. I think Infinity Wars is in this phase is the most important because it's what we've been gearing up towards, and it left the world silent. The impact of Infinity Wars was so impactful that it literally got everybody anticipating Endgame. Like non-comic book people, like that one scene, that one snap of the finger was heard around the world. I don't think Civil War did that. As much as I like Wakanda and thought that was a great movie, Wakanda doesn't compare to that moment. That moment where Thanos got all the rings, where Thanos snapped his finger. And it is literally still rippling right now. And for that reason, I believe that Infinity War is the most important movie within this phase. And then my second one to that would be let me go back through this again. See, I like Captain America with his Civil War, but I'm gonna say Doctor Strange.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Doctor Strange. And the reason I'm gonna say Doctor Strange is because, again, he's a very vital, important character, and even like I said, it might not be the funnest movie within, but it's one of the more important because you need him. And I would say Captain America, Civil War because of Black Panther's introduction, Spider-Man introduction, but I don't think none of them are as vital as Doctor Strange. And some of the stuff that you saw in Doctor Strange play a vital point in what was Infinity War. So I'm going to say Infinity Wars as the number one, Doctor Strange second to that.
Very good point. Very good points. All right. I guess this. Well, dang, Phoenix starting to call everything trash. That boy called Guardians trash. He done called Infinity Wars trash. Good Lord. You must be fun at parties. Okay, anyway. All right. So for me, mine undoubtedly has to be the entire reason why we're here. And that's Infinity Wars. I'm sorry. The entire reason why we're here and why we're even talking about this is what was building up after all these movies, after all these titles, after all these characters, after all these directors. The fact that they were able to create this story that went in and out of movies for 10 years to create a movie so spectacular that people were all the crunchy doing my session. What's going on here? I'm trying to build up suspense here. Ruin the moment. After 10 years of all this time that it came to a head that it left people in the movie theater literally speechless. Like you can hear the pin drop. You can hear people breathing. It was so quiet when that was going down. And
can I add something in there?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
My wife will not watch the movie because of that one scene. My mom don't want to see the movie. Like the effect of the snap was heard around the world.
Decimation what it's called? I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, it was heard around the world, man. It was like literally. I will never forget that moment. I don't remember. It's things I remember about all these movies, but that one scene, I don't think I would ever forget it. I think that's one of the biggest moments in cinema.
In cinema history.
Thanos snapping his finger. But anyway, it's your turn. I want mine.
to take to the point where D2K and Keith actually put it, where they were talking about how Civil War did a great job of scattering the people so that they had to come together to fight this foe. Infinity War just killed them. So so I understand your point, but I think Infinity War just killed some people.
It's called congratulations. You played yourself.
Well, half of them.
Half of them. So I think that's a better job of scattering people than Civil War did. It's gonna take a little bit more to get them back. But I like the point that was made about Civil War. But I still think because I don't think I've ever been so shook after a movie that I left the movie theater, pondering my own existence after watching that movie. And yes, we're not talking about our favorite movie. I understand that, but if we're talking about impact on MCU, the fact that you have killed half the universe, I don't know how big of an impact on the MCU you can get. But that's my case for it. And then second for me would be I was going another route, but I think I'm gonna have to circle back, and I will have to say Civil War because of the introduction to the characters. And I say this, I still think Civil War did a better job with Black Panther as it comes to his fighting than Black Panther did.
I'll give you that.
I really think so because he fought as a cat-like person in Civil War, but you didn't see that cat-like fighting in Black Panther.
To me, he felt like a stronger character in Civil War than he did in his own movie.
Yes, he did. He got beat by everybody in his own movie.
But the budget was bigger, and the director was, they probably had way better choreographing going on for because I don't think they even put they didn't think Black Panther was going to do what it did. None of us did. So, but yeah, I agree with you. He was just Captain America in his movie, but in Civil War, he was Black Panther.
It's like the only person, well, maybe Doctor Strange too, but the only person that really knocked out of park when their solo movies really was Iron Man. And everybody else is kind of like, yeah, it was okay, but
in they introduction movie,
yeah,
okay, yeah, I agree with that. So, well, Doctor Strange did too.
That's what I said. Other than Doctor,
oh, you did, you sure did.
Yeah, I still thought Homecoming was good. I thought Homecoming was good.
Yeah, it was all right. I think it's good, but
it's not.
It was good, but he didn't knock it out.
He didn't knock it out.
I'm with D2K on that.
Yeah, Doctor Strange and Iron Man. I did say after watching Doctor Strange, this was the best solo movie since Iron Man. I agree with that.
Okay, so let's over these three arcs, because we're not gonna do the fourth arc because we ain't concluded yet.
Part 3 ain't concluded yet.
Ain't it? I thought part 3 was concluded.
No, you guys still got you got Captain Marvel and Endgame.
Oh, that's a part of 3 too. I thought Endgame. Oh, that's part 2 to this movie. You're right.
Remember that was supposed to be one big movie.
Right. You're right.
So Captain Marvel next month, and then Avengers after that. No, is it April? I think
it's April.
Yeah, April and then May. Yeah,
that's when Reggie
returns. Let's go through the list of what movies we all extracted. So, K-Bum, list off the movies you extracted out.
All right, so mine was the first Avengers. It was Iron Man. It was Guardian. It was
what?
Captain America. Huh?
Oh, you going through all of them? I thought you were just going to phase 3. Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. Captain America Captain America's Winter Soldier. Then it was Infinity Wars, and then for the last piece, I was Civil War.
Okay, D2K.
It was Iron Man, Avengers, Guardians, and Winter Soldier, and it was Civil War and Infinity War.
Okay. Keith.
My internet was messing up. I said Iron Man. Where we at? Avengers. I said Iron Man. I think I said the Avengers. Yeah. Then I said Guardians, and then Age, and then I said Civil War, and I said Black Panther because of Wakanda
Forever.
forever.
Okay.
Wakanda forever.
And I said Iron Man, Avengers, Winter Soldier. Did I say Galaxy? Did I say Guardian of the Galaxy?
Yeah, you said Guardian.
Then I said
Infinity.
Infinity Wars and Doctor Strange. So, out of your list of movies, each person give the most important one out of the list.
Whew.
I'm gonna go for.
I mean, out of all of them together.
No,
Yeah.
out of just your list.
Your list.
Yeah, just your 6.
Okay, I'm gonna go first.
The most important out of all of those.
Because I'm about to dip out of here, so I'm gonna go first. Okay. Out of all of these movies,
most impactful.
Lord Jesus. Out of all of these movies, I am going to have to go with Civil War.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Explain. You gotta give us that. You gotta explain.
I mean, basically for the reason I've already said. I mean, of course, we wouldn't be where we are without, going through the trials and tribulations of all the other movies, the good and the bad movies. But I just think that this movie, it split the characters. It gave them depth. You got Tony and you got Cap. I can't even actually fully remember who stood on what side, but it was kind of like Democrats and Republicans. It's like we have a goal, but we want to go about it a different route, and that divided the whole team. The Avengers is no more, all of this good stuff. So I think that movie, and it like I said, and it showed you where the characters stood and what they believed in. Mm-hmm. And who they fought for and why they fought. And it gave them a reason to fight. Okay. So, yeah.
I'm going to go next because I always go last. I'm scared somebody gonna say what I say. I'm going to say Infinity Wars. And Infinity Wars is not my favorite movie. But because of the weight that was on this movie, 10 years of anticipation, 10 years of basically summing up everything we have seen, beginning with Iron Man, and to not only live up to it, but knock it out the park. It's the most important movie, in my opinion, in the MCU. Because if this movie fails, it made everything before it almost a waste of time. And because this was the climax, even though we got a part 2 coming, this to me, and part 2 could change this, because if part 2 don't live up, then it can make part 1 irrelevant. But up to this point, because of what it did and because of the effect that it had on cinema and the effect that it had on the folks who, us as fans, coming and watch it, it lived up to 10 years of buildup and hype. It lived up, it knocked up. Matter of fact, it left us floored with our mouths dropped. It made a lot of mistakes, yet was still able to leave us floored, even though we knew what was coming. He still managed to floor us. And for that reason alone, I say Infinity Wars is the most important movie in the MCU. Whoever want to go next can take it on.
Go ahead, D2K. I'll say mine last.
Yeah. Wow.
Maybe I should go.
Yeah, you go first. I need
All
to
right.
think about this.
So, so mine will have to be, even though, all right, truth, man. Good night, bro. So mine will have to be, even though it's not my favorite movie, mine will have to be the original Avengers. I'm sorry that the impact and what that movie did to me, and what it just did for setting the bar for the overall universe for a joint movie with superheroes, to me, just cannot be matched. It just can't. Infinity War was an amazing movie, absolutely my favorite movie, probably almost of all time. But just what they did and what they accomplished in Avengers is parallel to none to me. So to me, that's the most impactful movie in the Marvel universe.
That's a good point, K-Bone. You've been making really good points all night, man.
Thank you, sir.
I got it. Not that anybody else is making bad points.
No, it's too late. It's too late.
It's just because you said what you said, because Avengers is my favorite. Avengers is my favorite. And everything you say is true. But I still had to say the most impactful, important. I still had to go with Infinity Wars.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, D2.
I'm gonna stick with the Avengers on this one. For a lot of the reasons that K-Bomb has said earlier and what he just said, like he was saying earlier, that if this didn't work, then that probably would have shut down everything else. We wouldn't have gotten Infinity War or anything that came after the first Avengers. The fact that movie was as close to perfect as you can possibly get, cannot be understated.
It was.
It was as close to perfection to how you can have so many strong characters on screen at the same time, that you can have a movie where every single character in that movie of importance got their shine time and nobody felt they were left out.
Yep.
Not one single person. You felt like, well, we could have learned a little bit about Thor. We could have learned a little bit more about Iron Man. Everybody was covered equally.
Yep.
Everybody got the shine equally. Yep. Everything made sense. All the characters blended together and they did things. Their interactions made sense. And because of that, that allowed for other things to work later on in other movies in the MCU, because you saw the relationship between Natalia and what's the Arrow guy's name? Hawkeye. You saw how they were able to work together. You saw how Thor and Hulk's relationship started to butt in that situation, where even after they got together and they got into that one room and he punched him like, it ain't sweet, I still don't like you. That kind of like,
we got one of the biggest, most epic scenes in the MCU. That's Hulk slamming Loki in the ground. Truly, God, that's still the biggest scene.
And it's everything. We got to really see more of the human side of Tony Stark, trying to settle down a little bit with Pepper Potts, but really cannot separate himself from being Iron Man.
Retiring.
All that type of stuff, and it was just done perfectly. It was just a perfect movie, and from that template, they made everything else work. Guardians would not have worked without Avengers. The Civil War wouldn't have worked. All that stuff would not have worked without the first Avengers.
That was the template.
Can I add this one pushback though? Because it ain't that I disagree. It's just playing devil's advocate.
Absolutely.
Was there as much pressure on the original Avengers as there was on Infinity Wars?
Yeah, because it was the first time that they did it.
No one had ever done this before, period. And
because they were able to pull it off, they had that. In my opinion, the pressure was off from them, because let's just say that the Infinity War didn't happen or didn't work out right. Let's say they came out with a thud. That doesn't take away how good Avengers was, how good Iron Man was, how good Civil War was, how good Winter Soldier was. You can't just erase the quality of those movies because one movie stunk. So they can say, well, you know, we built up to this thing and it didn't quite work, but that doesn't eliminate the journey that we were on to get to this point.
Right. Now, I would say, I'm just remembering back, and I don't disagree with nothing you said. I'm just thinking, like, when the Avengers was coming out, we was anticipating it, but because we didn't know if they was gonna pull it off, or I don't think we went in with ridiculous high expectations, and they blew our socks off because they went way past what we was probably expecting. Because you know that many actors, the special effects, the amount of money that they're gonna have to, and they did. I mean, you're right, D2K. The original Avengers is dang near flawless from beginning to end. The introduction, them being down there testing the Tesseract or whatever they was testing, and Loki showing up and all that take place, and just everything in that movie just transitioned so seamless. But I don't believe as much pressure and anticipation was on that movie as it was on Infinity War.
I understand that.
That's all I'm saying. But I don't disagree with nothing you saying. Y'all kind of making me want to change my point, but I'm still gonna stick with Infinity War. But if there was a second, it was definitely the original Avengers. It's just because this is the climax. This is the kid and caboodle. You want to led me all this way for this moment, and if you fail and drop the ball, it don't make the movies in a singular sense bad, but it does hurt the MCU, and this is about the MCU. Like, it doesn't make Iron Man a bad movie, it doesn't make Avengers a bad movie, but if Infinity Wars does not live up, it hurts the MCU.
I don't know if I can agree with that because the MCU is going to keep going on beyond Infinity War. So if this was going to be the end of all of it, then I could agree with you.
Okay.
But because there's another phase coming that's going in a completely different direction, but there's still going to be more MCU movies, I can't really say that it does affect the whole MCU, because while the movies up to this point have led up to Infinity War, in a broader sense, they're going to keep on going to this movie will be a piece of movies that are going to be in the future. And it could be another big watershed movie coming down the line, you know, because there's all different types of sagas that they can go through. And now that now that Disney and Fox owns Fox now officially, now you can open things up to the Fantastic Four and the X-Men and all that type of stuff. You can do all kind. They have if no pun intended, they have infinite possibilities now. You know,
nice.
So yeah,
okay. And like I said, there ain't no wrong answer. You know, I can go with any one of these. Like,
I agree.
Y'all made a good point with Avengers, and I'm almost dang near like y'all pretty much right, but I'm still hold out for Infinity War.
Stick your guns, bro.
With that being
hard for me
said,
to choose that, man. It was hard for me to choose Avengers.
Yeah, I was shocked. I thought I was for sure you was going with Infinity.
I was, man, but I started thinking about it, man. It's just D2K. He was spot on, man. It's one of those movies that it don't matter when it comes on, I watch it. It was dang near perfect, man. And even the argument that Tony Stark and Captain America, when he told Captain America that everything good out of you came out of a bottle, and that's his whole demeanor when he said it was just it was just perfect. It was pretty much perfect, man.
Right. So with that being said, man, we might have to continue this conversation another time when more of these movies hit the big screen. Do we need to do a DCEU?
Is there one?
You know,
I mean, we could do it right now. It sucks.
But with that being said, man, we appreciate everybody showing up in the live chat.
For sure.
All you guys, Lurking Ghoul,
the Truth.
Cornelius,
Heart and Soul,
Heart and
Heart and
Soul,
Soul came through.
Phoenix Star.
Phoenix Star. What was it? MD? What was his name?
The MD20 or something like that.
Yeah, the MD. Yeah, MD20, and all the rest of you guys. If I didn't name you, don't count it to the mind, not the heart. But we appreciate you guys. Spread the word, share this with friends, man. We think this was a good conversation.
For sure.
If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe button.
Hit that bell. It'll let you know when we're getting ready to make another podcast.
Right. Thank you, D2. And with that being said, man, we will see y'all on the flip side of what's the date?
The 21st.
The 21st. So
Get it.
then, go ahead, Keith. I mean D2.
No, you made a mistake. Go ahead. Get it.
Oh, okay. I didn't. No.
It's called congratulations.
So even going out, we still throwing them out. So anyway, till next time, folks. Deuces.